Ladies and gentlemen, Elie Wiesel, founding chairman of the United States Holocaust Memorial Council.
Mr. President, Madam Speaker, members of Congress, members of the Council, fellow survivors, liberators, friends. Mr. President, all of us who attended your inauguration were profoundly moved by and proud of our nation. I had a feeling that perhaps history was trying to correct an old, shameful, lasting shame done to your community, Mr. President, to all those who were humiliated because of their color. It was history's best moment. Can history ever correct the extraordinary, profoundly stirring injustice done to my people, the Jewish people, and to all the other victims? It could. Has it? Will the world ever learn? We thought that if only we could speak, people would change. Not enough. I just came back from Geneva, where we attended an event that was incredibly offensive. The leader of a nation, an ancient nation, the leader of a people, a good people, who became the #1 Holocaust denier in the world. And he used the solemn setting of a United Nations gathering again to insult the state of Israel in a way that no civilized person should ever do that. Now, how is it possible that it happened? Why was he invited? Why was he there? Thank you, Mr. President, for deciding that America should boycott that gathering. A personal memory. 65 years ago, a few days after Passover, in my little town, somewhere in the Carpathian Mountains, it all began. It all began with certain decrees. Hungarian gendarmes would go from home to home to confiscate whatever we had. We didn't have much. I have in my possession, given by a friend from the museum, Radu Ioannit, a receipt from a lieutenant of the Hungarian army of the things that he had taken from my old grandmother. And when I saw it for the first time, my heart broke. My poor old grandmother. What they have taken was the equivalent of $10. That's all she had. And very poor candelabras for her Sabbath candle lighting. And they took them. They have robbed her of her poverty. And that's what they have done, going from house to house. Then came the ghetto. And then came the deportation with all went very rapidly. The Hungarian Jews were the last large Jewish community to be targeted, the very last. The war almost ended. Germany has lost the war. 10 days later, D-Day. And they came, and cattle cars crisscrossing the nocturnal landscape of Europe. The arrival, the flames at a distance. At one point, my father looked out the window in the cattle car, and he read the name of the station, Auschwitz. And we didn't know what it meant. No one did. My good friends, we in 1944 didn't know what it meant. The free world already knew. Washington knew. London knew. Switzerland knew. The Vatican knew. Stockholm knew. The Washington Post knew and the New York Times knew. We didn't. Had we known, our tragedy would have been curtailed, limited. We had an old maid, a Christian woman called Maria, illiterate, but her heart was a human heart. And she, even her memory, brings honor to Christianity. She sneaked into the ghetto and she pleaded with my father and our family, "Don't go. I have a hut in the mountains. I'll take care of you." Had we known what Auschwitz meant, we wouldn't have gone. Why didn't we? Why didn't anyone in the free world bother to warn us? Jews in Hungary, don't go to the train. Will the world ever learn? I think it hasn't. Had the world learned, there would have been no Cambodia, and no Bosnia, and no Darfur, and all racism would have disappeared. Anti-Semitism would have vanished. How will it learn? I always believed, still do, that if Auschwitz couldn't cure the world of anti-Semitism, what could and what will?